on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Joni Taylor Coaches Show, presented by Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit Rudy's.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. And by Twisted Tea, hard iced tea for the 12th man. Please drink responsibly. Now, the Joni Taylor Coaches Show.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome out to Rudy's Barbecue. A great crowd on hand here, despite the weather outside. You can come in here and get a great meal tonight. We're going to be here from 6 until 7 o'clock talking women's basketball. I'm Steve Miller with the coach, Joni Taylor, and then that gives you plenty of time to get over to Reed Arena for the Aggie men. They start at 8 o'clock against Missouri, and ironically, Missouri is our next opponent on the women's side. And going to be a little dicey on the weather. That's always fun this time of year. When you think about weather, is that just part of basketball season?
It's part of it. You know, Meredith Mitchell is our director of business operations, and she's a meteorologist. She's a bank associate. I mean, she does so many things. She's a Nike equipment manager, Adidas equipment manager. She just does so many different things for us. But so I'm actually I know some of the coaches on Missouri's men's staff, and they got in town Sunday because the weather's so bad in Missouri. And so I called Meredith and I said, hey, like, do we need to leave early? Like, are we going to be okay? And she goes, I got it. I'm on top of it. I got a message yesterday. And I was like, okay, let me get out of your way, right? So we're monitoring the weather, and we'll see. But it's something that you're constantly trying to navigate. And sometimes you have to pack up and leave early. Sometimes you are delayed and you leave late. And you know, that's the other thing that I don't think people understand is how fluid and how flexible our young ladies are. Because, you know, you'll wake up to a text message that says, we got to leave early, pack your bags, and be here in 30 minutes. Or, you know, we've got to spend the night here, or we've got to do this, we've got to hang out for 4 hours. And they do that without complaint, without flinching. And, you know, it's all a part of what we go through.
Yeah, just part of the season. You sometimes wonder if you're even going to land in College Station after a game. I remember some time ago going to Missouri, and Tom Turbyville and I, our former play-by-play person for women's basketball, we ended up on a commercial flight and sat in the St. Louis airport for I don't know how long. The team was ahead of us. We got bumped, or I don't know what happened. All I know is we ended up on the last flight into the Missouri airport there, Columbia, Missouri airport. And, of course, the bus is long gone. The team had been there a long time. The rental cars are not available. So the airport manager gave Tom and I a ride in his SUV to the hotel.
This is way before Uber, right?
Oh, there's no Uber, and the taxis weren't going to come out to that airport. Wow. So it was long after dark, and so you kind of just do whatever you have to do. So
you figure it out.
That's right. You just figure it out. Well, it's been a long week. Had a week after the Tennessee game. So great win against Tennessee. What did you take away from that Tennessee game a week ago?
Well, you know, good Lord, it feels like such a long time ago now. I think it was our most complete game from start to finish. I thought we put 4 quarters together really well. I thought we were locked in, focused. I thought we made Tennessee take tough shots. And they're capable of making tough shots. They did not on Sunday. And, you know, Rakia Jackson's a top 5 draft pick, and we really gave her the blues all night long. Obviously, we have to go back to Knoxville later this year, but I thought offensively we shared the ball well. We rebounded the ball, got some extra possessions because of our offensive rebounding. We ran the floor well, but just when you go back and watch it, our defense was just really, really stifling. You could see Tennessee's frustration, and you just kind of knew this was a game that we weren't going to lose.
I just thought the Aggies worked hard. It was just a hard-working game.
It was fun. It was fun to watch. I mean, we were all in sync. You know, we were in sync. Were we perfect? No, but again, it was our most complete game, and that's what you want to bottle up and consistently do in practice every day and in every game you play.
So then that, assuming that helps you in practice as you end up with a bye in the midweek and you see on the horizon the number 1 team in the country, how does that win help just general attitude and focus as you go through the week?
Yeah, I thought our attitude was great and our focus was great. You know, we spent the week shuffling lineups because we knew we weren't going to have MJ and Janiyah, right? They both are in concussion protocol at this point. MJ from LSU and Janiyah got hit in the last couple minutes against Tennessee. So whereas your normal bye week, you have your full roster and you're just tweaking things and getting sharper, we were putting in new offense with Sahara at the 4 and Lauren Ware at the 4 and Vanessa's at the 5, and that child hadn't played all year, and she'll be here tonight. I can't wait for you to talk to her about her experience, playing. Like, talk about getting thrown into the fire. You're going to play against South Carolina.
Congratulations.
So we spent our week shuffling around lineups and trying to figure out, what that looked like in our rotation, because we knew we were going to be shorthanded. So with all that being said, I thought through that our players had the right perspective. I thought they were locked in. I thought we had, some hardy practices. And then we just got out there and honestly laid an egg the first quarter. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, it was the first time to have a lineup change all season long. Yes, players come and go during a game, and who starts in the first, second may not be who comes out after halftime, but that's pretty rare too, to keep your same starting lineup 16, 17 games in.
Yeah. It's something that, again, like, who you earn the right to start based on what you do in practice. Once the game goes, whatever 5 are playing the best together and doing what we ask and are giving us the best chance to win, that's who we're going to go with. And that's different from game to game, especially with our guards. We have a lot of really good guards. And so some nights it's Sid's night, some nights it's Sahara's night, some nights it's Tanea's night, some nights it's KK. It just, Soleil, there's, thankful we have those options. But yeah, it was our first time changing our lineup. It's pretty hard to get me to do that, really.
You're right. And again, and that's something that once you find it, you want to keep it and go from there. And that's always a positive, because so many times you end up other factors outside of your control forcing you to make lineup changes. And, of course, this one did. But as you said, the egg, it was 15-0 before Soleil gets that first basket.
Right. What
do you think contributed to that?
We just did not look aggressive at all. We were soft guarding the ball. We were slow offensively. I didn't think we screened well. I didn't think we cut well. Somebody shot the ball and we got hit trying to go rebound, and we just stopped. I just didn't like our pursuit of anything that we were doing on either side of the basketball. And then we snap out of it, but by that time the score's 25-8 or 3 or whatever it was, and that's the number 1 team in the country for a reason. You just can't start like that against them.
Yeah, and only to get to, 2 field goals in a quarter. That's almost hard to do.
Yeah, it is. And their length bothers you. They cover ground quickly. You start seeing ghosts a little bit, right? And then I thought not making shots affected what we did on the defensive end of the floor.
I thought sometimes you look at how strong A&M's defense has been all season long, and even in transition. But I don't know. It felt like we're getting the ball passed over us.
I didn't think we always try to say, like, don't let the ball see, right? You can't let the ball see, because if I'm pressuring you, then you're worried about me guarding you. If I'm not, then you can see and you can pick apart, and they're just too good to have that type of freedom and to be able to see. And Raven Johnson's a tremendous point guard, and I just thought she was able to sit there and chew her popcorn and do whatever she wanted to do, to start the game.
Well, and some of those ladies, they didn't even have to play the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, they had built up such a lead and whatnot. So what did you do to right the ship?
Well, I thought it started in the second quarter. I thought when we subbed, Soleil came in and she was not afraid, right? Did she do everything right? No, but I thought she got us going offensively. We got some good movement. And then we came out in the third and fourth quarter, and we were tied with them, in terms of, like, you play each quarter. We did much better in terms of just ball movement, crashing the glass, getting the right shot, not settling for shots, all those things.
My math, make sure my math was right. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I mean, the number of 2-point field goals that were in the first half.
Yeah.
Had a couple of 3-pointers, but I think it ended up being like only 4. So you go into halftime and played a little bit better in that second quarter. What was your message at the break?
Well, it was like, hey, guys, are we on a different game plan than I'm on?
Right.
Like, this is not what we talked about. This is not what we practiced. And then we just made some adjustments offensively in terms of who we wanted to pull away from the basket. This is what worked. Let's run this action. Defensively, we've got to do these things to get ourselves back in the game. And I thought they were locked in.
Yeah. What were you doing in that third quarter and into the fourth?
Well, it was, pull Cardoso away from the basket, right? We're not going to get to the rim against 6'7". Pull her away from the basket, get her in ball screen action. And then one of the things that we thought we could do is, so we thought Sahara had an advantage with her matchup. She was playing the 4 a lot for us on Sunday, and we thought she could take their 4 players off the dribble. And so we got her in the slot area, and she was able to get downhill and make some drives and get to the rim. And she did that because we pulled Cardoso away from the basket. So
And those were with, we'll call it dribble penetration at times. So we're just going to attack the basket. And what are the things that can happen? Some are positive, some are negative. But something's going to happen when you penetrate to the basket.
You're going to get fouled. You're going to make the defense collapse and be able to make the extra pass to someone else. You're going to get it up to the rim and give us a chance to go get an offensive rebound. Because a lot of times for us, when we bail out and take threes, long shots mean long rebounds, right? And if we don't get those long rebounds, now they're off to the races. Yeah. And one of our keys to the game was to not let them score in transition. And at halftime, I think they only had 2 points or either 0 points in transition. And then they ended the game with like 8 or 10. And right. And so it's because we did sometimes quick shoot it, which led to quick runouts for them.
Sahara Jones has put back-to-back games together, career high against Tennessee. She had, I think it was 15, and in this game had 17 points. What is she doing right now?
The same thing she does every day. It's just going in the hole, and I'm happy for her. Listen, she is in the gym before practice. She's in the gym after practice. Every shot she's making right now are the same shots she's taken all year long. They're just going in the hole, and I try to tell people, Sahara is a sophomore in a senior body. This is only her second year of actually being on the floor and playing. So her ceiling is still, she's got a lot of room to grow. And so I'm happy for her because she does all the little things right. She trusts the process. She trusts us. She goes and rebounds. All the little things we've asked her to do when her shot wasn't falling, she's done. And so now for her offensive evolution to kind of come about, I'm really happy for her because she's someone who wants to do it right.
Yeah, she also has this focus to keep improving her free throw shooting, and she was 3 of 4 at the line, and the one miss was the most disturbed look and frustration I think I have ever seen, and she was wanting to make those things.
Yeah. She have a little drill in practice every day. We call it Bruce Weber free throws, and she's constantly trying to go, be perfect from the free throw line. Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little more about the South Carolina game and about the performance of India Rogers. She had 21 points in that game. Plus, we'll look ahead to the games against Missouri and Florida, back-to-back road games coming up for the Aggies, and a whole lot more. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Head on over to your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com to place an order for their real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. And don't forget, Rudy's serves made-to-order and grab-and-go breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. We're at Rudy's Barbecue. It's the Joni Taylor Radio Show. I'm Steve Miller, along with the coach, Joni Taylor. Great to have you with us tonight. We've got a great crowd here in Rudy's Barbecue. While the maybe a little nasty outside, be careful out there. You can slide in here. We've got women's basketball talk going on until 7 o'clock. And then coming up on the network, we've got A&M men's basketball at Reed Arena tonight, 8 o'clock start for A&M men and Missouri. The Aggies' next game Thursday, they'll be at Missouri, the A&M women, at 8 o'clock Central. You can listen here on the Sports Network. Locally, that's Zone 1150, or watch on the SEC Network. And then Sunday, A&M is at Florida, noon Central Time. And that'll be on News Talk 1620 or on the SEC Network. And as we look back at the South Carolina game for just a few more moments, India Rogers has also put together quite a run here. I mean, her first few games of the season, getting double digits. You're getting your 10, 11, 9, 8. Well, over her last, 6 games, averaging more than 17 points a game. That's good stuff.
It is. And, I look at her, I'm like, this is what you should have been doing the whole time.
Right,
goes,
exactly.
Well, I didn't need to. I'm like, that's not really the point. No, I really think, again, to her, it just talks about how impressive she is. Like, she wasn't with us all summer. She was still graduating from Oregon. They're on the quarter system. So she joins us in July. I'm gone in July with USA Basketball. So my first time getting with her point guard coach was like when I returned in August and school started. And so I think she really cares about making sure she knew our offense. We have a lot of talented players, a lot more sharing of the ball than last year. And I think she really wanted to come in and show to our team like she is a pass-first point guard or a selfless point guard. But she also understands, like, okay, I need to score now.
That's right.
Right? Because let's just be honest, like, we've struggled to score in some games. And so I kind of have to one time I looked at her and said, you got to be more aggressive. She was like, okay.
Ooh, waiting for the green light?
Well, I think she's so passive and can be so passive at times. So I'm like, do you realize we've been down the floor 5 times and hadn't scored, like, you're going to have to, let's go. Because she could really come down and get a shot off anytime she wanted to.
And not every play do you need her to be
Correct.
the point guard.
Correct. You know, and I think she is starting to get a better feel for when she needs to score, when she needs to pass. And what I've been telling her is this is how you have to practice every day. So we can get used to it, so our team can get used to it, your teammates can get used to it, so we can kind of get a feel for what it is that you're doing. And so she's starting to become a little bit more aggressive and offensive-minded in practice too.
How do you describe her confidence level out there?
She's very confident. You know, she's not someone who's going to verbally say it, and she doesn't have a lot of cocky to her. But there's not much that she doesn't think she can do.
And how do her teammates react to her?
I think there's just a level of calm. You know, she's not going to turn it over. You know, she's going to make the right decision with the basketball. And every time she shoots it, I think it's going in. And so I think there's just a level of calm and a level of confidence that we all have in her.
So what triggers, other than, say, foul trouble, which she hasn't really gotten in, what triggers you to pull her out of the lineup, and what is it that you pull her out of the lineup for?
Just rest.
Yeah.
You know, I try to gauge, and it depends on who she's guarding. Like, there's some times where her matchup may not be something that is that extensive for her, and there are times where she's burning it on both ends based on who she's guarding. And so I can just kind of look at her and tell when her wick is getting a little short. I try to play that as close to the media as I can, you know, whether that's the media or at the end of the quarter.
And by that we mean the timeout.
The timeout, yeah. And sometimes it's just like, let's go get her right now. Like we've extended this thing to 8. Let's get her a break. You know, it just depends on what's going on in the game.
But you do have some depth, so
yeah,
that's not just this end of the world situation.
Yeah.
KK, Tanea, others have really come in and done well for you.
Yep, they really have, and you know, it's fun to watch in practice. You know, just you look back there, and especially coming off of last year when you're looking around and you're like, where is everybody? And to look now and there's a point guard line of 3 people, and sometimes Soleil jumps in that line, and you look on the perimeter and there's a line of 3 on either side. Like, it's like, oh, thank goodness. So
we call that depth.
Yeah. So you do have options, and it's nice to know. And the good thing about that is it doesn't put as much pressure on our team to feel like one person has to perform. And that's what last year felt like. If these 2 people or these 3 people did not play well every game, now we still need to play well, but you know, if KK's having an off night, then hopefully Tanea's not, you know, or hopefully Soleil's not, or India's not, or whoever. And out of the mix of guards and forwards that we have, we just got to get the right 5. And sometimes it takes a little longer to figure that out, and sometimes it's 6, and sometimes it's 7.
So we flip the page away from the guards, and we look at the injury situation with Janiyah and MJ. What can you tell us about those 2 ladies? Yeah,
they're still in protocol, right? It's day to day. I get a injury report every day from our trainer, and she tells me kind of like where we are with all of our players. But just as it relates to them, they both are still in protocol for concussion and the progression to ramp themselves back into practice and into play. So they're day to day.
The process to get back. What's involved in that process?
So when you first arrive on campus, there is a concussion test that you take.
Like with a chair, or is it?
No. You take a test. You are in front of a doctor, and they ask you all these questions.
Oh, my.
And what's challenging about that is most of our student athletes don't take it very seriously.
Right.
They've never had a concussion, or if they have, like, they just don't really, you know, what we know, studies have shown, like, I was probably concussed half of my career and did not know it, right? And just played through it. So thank goodness we now have more research to know and how to manage that. The challenging thing is that there's no way to really test for it while you're still alive, right? You know, the only way to do it is to actually take a look at your brain. And so we're guessing on what is the formula for a baseline test. And so we do this baseline test when they come in, when they're completely normal and fine. And then if they're ever concussed, we do a test while they're concussed, and we compare it to this baseline test that probably honestly wasn't very accurate to start with. And that's our baseline. And so you're just trying to figure that out. But really, the short answer to your question is as long as they're symptomatic or until how they feel matches this test, which they probably don't even remember how they answered this test, they're in a concussion protocol.
Oh, like a bad trivia game there.
Yeah.
You know, the losing team of Trivial Pursuit.
So that's kind of where we are.
All right, well, we'll switch to something more happy, if you will. over 6,000 fans there at the game on this last Sunday, and we've seen some really large groups coming to the game. Groups are having a great time, and folks are coming out to the games. What are they experiencing?
Hopefully, and I'll say this. Number one, thank you guys, because even when the game was out of hand, when we scored, when we got a stop, I could hear you guys cheering and yelling, and you stayed. And it's just, I can't tell you how much that means to us and our team, because that doesn't happen everywhere. So thank you for that. And as we continue to build it and grow it, what we want fans to see when they come is a team that has great chemistry, that loves each other, that plays really hard, and that puts a good product on the floor. We want families to come and be able to experience the fan zone, and we've added face paint to that space. We've added all these games to that space now, and we're trying to beef up our concession stand. So we're trying to do things to make it an in-game experience, because every game is televised now.
And part of that is your players are accessible in that too.
Yes. We started last year. Something that we've always done is when the game is over, they have sections, and they walk into their section after every game. And, the familiarity with getting to know fans and looking for certain, people that they know are going to be in their section. All of that, it's part of it. Like, it's to have access to us. We want this to be a big family, and I think that we are starting to see the benefit of that and just how we're starting to grow it.
And had won the first 11 games at Reed Arena this year, and so now you take a loss, yet the expectation of the players remain the same. And,
yes.
And how did they react?
Obviously they were disappointed. I think, they wish they could have had the first quarter back. I was really proud that they continued to fight the whole game. We talked about it today, and then we had to move on to Missouri. And so, again, you got to have a really short memory in this league, because we carry over our feelings about South Carolina into our prep for Missouri. We're going to go to Missouri and not have a good showing. We've got to be fully focused on what's in front of us. And that's what's so fun about this league, is that Missouri is totally different from South Carolina, but they're good, right? They're not South Carolina, but they present their own set of problems. And so every Thursday, Sunday, it's like this chess match, and you're looking at a team that's totally different from the team you just played, but gives you its own set of issues. Missouri shoots the three really well. They make 9 threes a game. I feel like we've been guarding Haley Franks since she was 10 years old, and she's still on a roster. It's and so to see her, you become fans of, and when you're not playing against them, I'm really happy and to see what she's done with her career. But we're going to have our hands full. They put 5 shooters on the floor. They spread you out, and if you bat your eye, they're shooting threes. And so presents a totally different set of problems.
Yeah, Aggies are at Missouri on Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Missouri is 11-8 overall, 2-4 in the SEC, but they've won 2 of their last 3 games.
Yeah, they had some injuries early, and they're just now starting to get it figured out without those players. And again, they play really well at home. Columbia, Missouri is a really tough place to play. And so they're going to be fired up, because if you look at our standings right now in our conference, there's South Carolina, who hasn't lost. And then there's 1 or 2 teams that have only lost 1 game. And then there's a jumble of 7 teams that are right here in it. You win a game, you lose a game, you're in 3rd or 4th place. And so everybody's jockeying and fighting for, that position. And so it's going to be a really key game for us. We need to win a game on the road. They need to protect their home court. So it's going to be, from the time that ball tips, it's going to be a fight.
We've got 16 conference games, right? And so we have only played, we've played 5. So we're not even to a halfway point here. So the jockeying is just, there's a lot more of this to go along.
This will be for the remainder of the year. You kind of say, okay, you got 2 road games, then you come back home, and then you just are just trying to figure it out and make sure our team understands this is where we can steal a game on the road, or this is what we need to do. We need to grow up and win a road game. How about that? So those are the conversations that we need to have, and what are the next steps we need to take?
Yeah, 2 great opportunities this week. Missouri on Thursday and Florida on Sunday. All right, coming up on the show, we do have a couple of special guests with us. We've got Aicha Coulibaly, and we have Vanessa Saidu here to join us. So we're excited to visit with those young ladies, and we'll have more with Joni Taylor. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're live at Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. Howdy, Ag. Steve Miller here, inviting y'all to visit Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill. It's Baja-style Mexican, made from scratch daily, serving breakfast, tacos, lunch, and dinner. It's Aggie-owned and operated in South College Station. We're back on the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller. Texas A&M women getting set to take on Missouri. That's Thursday, 8 o'clock Central in very chilly Columbia, Missouri. And you can listen here on the A&M Sports Network. Locally, that'll be Zone 1150, or watch on the SEC Network. And then it's a road game, back-to-back here. Sunday, the Aggies are at Florida. That'll be noon Central Time. And that game will be on 1620 locally and on the SEC Network. We are joined by a freshman, Vanessa Saidu. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Let's fix this little cord here, right?
Yeah,
oh, that's okay. I don't want it to rip it off your head there. Somebody got to play a lot of minutes this last game.
Yes, it was a good experience.
Was it?
Yes.
Tell me what was going on out there, and when did you know that it's like, hey, I'm gonna get a lot of minutes this game?
When JT had told me, Vanessa, get ready, I was like, yep, you don't gotta tell me twice, I'm ready. Because 2 posts was out, and I was the only one there, and my teammates needed me to step up. My team was just telling me, keep your head up, we're gonna need you this game. We need you to be aggressive, run the floor. I was like, okay, I got this. And I was in my head. When she called my name, I was like, good, just go out there, run the floor, keep them out the paint, and just do what you got to do and do what you're told.
And so what'd you do?
Went out there, run the floor, try to keep Vanessa out the paint.
How'd that work out?
They was very strong, I can tell you that. But I tried not to get pushed around.
That's good.
Yeah, I was trying my best. But it felt good.
Describe you as a player out there. What kind of personality did Cardozo experience out there?
I would say like me as a player.
Yeah. How were you out there? Yeah. Were you mean? Were you or just hi, welcome to Reed Arena? What were you like?
I feel like I said, I had one job was to keep her out the paint. So I was trying to be aggressive, be mean, be aggressive, just play my game.
Most minutes you'd played all season.
Yeah.
How'd you feel afterwards?
I felt great. I've been working out with Coach Yo, running after practice, and that was good. I felt great out there. I was barely getting tired. Yeah, I felt great.
You could tell a difference for sure. She probably coming after Christmas started, I think, 3 days a week.
Yeah.
3 days a week she stays after practice and does extra conditioning. And you could tell on Sunday that she wasn't nearly as winded as she normally is.
Yeah.
And how'd you come to that decision?
I was JT, Coach Joe came up to me, Stacy, they was like, we need you to stay after practice every day, do this, run, just do what you got to do, and because you get tired a lot. And for my health, I need to because I'm going to get a lot of minutes. So I feel like me staying after practice and just running, because you never know when your name is going to get called. So I just feel like doing that would help me a lot. So my name was called and I had to put a lot of minutes. So that really helped me a lot. Running after practice, all that came to,
It'd be too late this week to start doing that. You had to be ready.
Exactly. So I definitely feel like I was ready. And I was barely tired like that. All that came to everything. The staying after practice helped a lot.
How's the transition been from your high school games to college games?
It's nothing. Comparing high school and it's a big difference. It's huge. It's fast. It's definitely fast for sure. High school is nothing compared to this.
And are you talking? Is it fast in practice too?
Yeah, fast, being aggressive. You're getting pushed all over the place. Definitely, it's definitely aggressive.
And then you get in the game, and it's super fast.
Faster, definitely.
Joni, how has she made the transition?
She's done really well. Vanessa's someone who Chelsea found last year, and she can dunk, right? Super athletic, great hands. She didn't start playing basketball until 8th grade, right? So, again, she's someone who, a year or two from now is going to be totally different than what we're watching and what we're seeing. And so, our job is to come in, and actually we talked about possibly redshirting her, and then when Jada Malone got hurt, obviously her plan changed. But she's someone who is going to be a really, really good player for us. She just doesn't know what she doesn't know, but she comes to practice every single day, and I am on her. Y'all, I am on her. I can't even tell you. She probably gets her name called more than anybody because I don't want her to show up next year how she is now. And so we're coaching her up, even though it doesn't reflect in games played and minutes. But no matter what is said to her, no matter how good of a day or bad of a day she thinks she's had, she's got a smile on her face. She's saying okay, and she comes in the next day with a really good smile on her face and the right attitude, and that's going to take her a long way.
We're visiting with our freshman, Vanessa Saidu. And so how do you not play basketball until the 8th grade? What were you doing before then?
Okay, so I didn't want to play no sports. And my mom was like, you're not going to waste this height. You're going to play, do something. And then I just started playing basketball. I was playing Little League in like 5th grade, but I wasn't taking it serious. It wasn't something that I really wanted to do for real. And then people were just telling me, like, you have a lot of potential, the talent is there. And I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take it serious. My freshman year of high school, I played freshman JV varsity. The end of the season, I ended up playing varsity in the state game. Like, yeah, the potential was just there. The talent was there. So I'm not going to waste it. So I just take advantage of it.
Do you remember the height that you were at when your mom says it's time to play basketball?
I was like 5'11". I was probably the tallest in my class. Mm-hmm. I was like 5'11" at that time. And
now you're 6'2"?
Yeah.
Depending on what shoes we got on?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was like 6'3" with shoes
on.
on.
You were 6'3"?
With shoes on.
Oh, okay. And so Joni says you can dunk.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that yet. You saving that? What's the story?
I'm not saving it, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to get comfortable. Once I get comfortable, I get there.
Describe the type of move that you do when you dunk. You're one-handed, two-handed, or what are you doing here? You just popping the rim?
I just take it one dribble, because my legs are very long.
Yeah.
So one dribble and just jump as high as I can.
And you're one hand putting it in, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you do this in practice all the time? Because I haven't seen it in some of the shooter.
I don't do it in practice because I feel like I'm worrying about something else right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, I have more things to worry about. And once I get comfortable and,
Who else on this team can dunk?
Janiyah. I feel like Sahara can dunk too because she jumps really high, but she don't believe it. I be telling her.
Oh.
But Janiyah, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Janiyah, yeah. That'll be great. So you're from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So last week it was pretty cold here. Was it colder here or in Minneapolis? Do you know? Did you
It was
think
definitely
about that?
It was cold in Minneapolis for sure. My mom had called me. She was like, "It's like -20 out here." I was like, "Oh, people's down here saying it's really cold and it's only like 20 degrees or like 30." I'm like, "Yeah." So it was definitely cold in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you think the people here get kind of crazy when it gets cold? Do you just kind of just smirk and laugh? And
Yes. It was barely no snow outside. And people was like, "We're not going to school and stuff." I was like, "Oh." In Minnesota, when it's like it snows and stuff, and it's 12 inches, we still got to go to school. Yeah.
You didn't have some teammates trying to drag you to the grocery store like, we got to get stuff, it's going to get crazy?
India. She was like, I'm about to take you to the store to get some water, and I'm going to take you home. I'm like, okay.
I sent a message in the group chat.
And Joni had sent a message in the group chat, so I'm like, oh, okay. And then the next day, it was barely no snow outside. Everybody was freaking out. I was like,
snow?
Oh, my God.
Well, it was just like some ice.
Literally, for real. I went outside. I was like, this is nothing comparing to Minnesota.
And so what did your teammates think of that? Because you clearly were right.
Everybody was inside. They was texting the group chat, like, it's cold outside. I'm like, y'all, it's barely cold outside. Like, for real.
What's next for you? What's next for you playing here? What are you trying to do as your objectives the rest of the season?
I'm trying to grow, learn, be humble, and just take my game to the next level. Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Me too.
Looking forward to you dunking, too.
Me too.
All right, Vanessa, thank you for joining us. Vanessa Saidu, everybody. We're live from Rudy's Barbecue. It's a Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest and register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, a VIP tour of Reed Arena, and will be recognized on the video board during the game. Register today at 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is a proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue. It is the Joni Taylor Radio Show with Joni Taylor. I'm Steve Miller, and we're joined by Aicha Coulibaly here. You guys just left me here a few minutes ago to take a picture with a great group of nursing students that are here. Is that right?
Yes, Leroy comes to all of our games, and so he has really encouraged and talked about women's basketball. And I think this is the second radio show where they came, but tonight I had to ask him, did he give extra credit for, because I don't know, it's at least 20 students here tonight. Thank y'all for being here. That was awesome.
That's great. No, we appreciate them coming out. The Aggies getting ready to take on Missouri. That's this Thursday, 8 o'clock, and then it's at Florida on Sunday at noon Central Time. And Aicha, how's it been going?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah?
Can't complain. Just living life.
What's different about conference play for you than was at the beginning of the season when we last talked?
I mean, it's different competition when it comes to conference time, and I've been in there for like 3 years. I know how it goes every time. It's faster, physical, I just keep doing what I do best and then, stay poised and then do what I have to do in a game.
And you know these people already because you've played them. You're no stranger to the SEC.
Yes, sir.
How does that help you?
It helps a lot, just watching film from last year and this year, comparing games. They have some good players coming in their program as well. And just, keep doing with me, and then knowing the conference is getting harder and harder as we go every year. Each year, every team is harder. Like, you can get beat at anytime, at any night given. And just coming out ready and do what we do best.
Well, you know them. They know you. But how are you different from your days at your last institution at Auburn than you are here at Texas A&M?
I feel like coming at Texas A&M, being at the 3 position is giving me more, I would say the floor is more open for me, like being at the 3, just being able to be inside and out and having people guard me. And I just make it hard for them. I have different things I can do, and Joni helping me, putting me in different positions so it can make it hard for the defense to guard. I've just been, watching film and they know I drive a lot, and then they'll sag off, and I just got to watch film and then pull up and, show my game off a lot. Yeah,
you've been scoring a lot, and so how much of that film work has contributed to your scoring success?
Pretty good. I feel like we have a pretty good team. Like, everybody is like stacked, and then or scoring. Like, my teammates help me get there. I don't have to force any shot. I just take the shot that's given to me, and the plays that I call when I'm called, I just do what I have to do.
What are you seeing from AC?
Well, I think that's what she says best is she has the ability to go out and get a bucket every single time if she wanted to. And when she was making the decision to come to Texas A&M, and when she went to the portal, it was what's going to be important to you, like having a really high stat line in terms of how many points you score a game, or winning and having people around you so that the floor is more spread out. And I think that's where I've seen a lot of growth for her. She's someone who is a two-way player on both sides of the ball, and everybody can't do that. Everybody can't affect the game on both sides of the ball. You think about Tennessee and the deflections and the steals she got, and then the things she did offensively. And when you can play on both sides of the ball, you're going to be playing for a really long time if that's what you choose to do. So I think for her, continuing to push herself, she wants to be a professional. And so for us, it's challenging her every day to do that. And she really accepts that challenge. I chuckle because on road trips, Nancy Mulkey, our grad assistant, sits right in front of me. And Nancy is just trying to get on the plane and get her seatbelt on. And before she can turn around, her and AC are fighting because AC's like, give me your computer, give me the film. And she's like, no, go take a nap. No, give me the film now. And I just sit back and watch it. And they literally have this banter back and forth daily, probably about film, because sometimes Nancy just wants her to relax and shut it down. And she's like, no, I got to watch. And so it's fun to coach someone who wants to watch film and who wants to watch herself and our opponents and, put herself in the best position possible.
How much film are you watching?
A lot. Probably 15 hours a week. I don't know.
Wow.
A lot.
How is it helping your defense?
Oh, a lot. Because, in defense, I try to learn, the other team, our opponent, their offense, so I can anticipate it. I know I get a lot of steals, and I'm really good at, timing stuff and just get deflection and stuff. Just watching film, that's what I do. It didn't start today. I've been doing it since I was at Auburn, and just something that helped me along the way in the season, and just fixing the things that I need to fix every game and not making the same mistakes.
Tell us about your home country.
My home country? What do you want to know about my home country?
Tell me. These people don't have any idea. Nobody here has been to Mali?
Yeah.
Who here has been to Mali? I don't see any hands. No. Nobody, no hands. So you're going to have to tell us, what is it? Tell us something about it. Should we go?
It's in West Africa. I don't know what else.
What kind of food
do you
eat? What traditions do you have?
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, that's a good question.
West Africa. How many of you knew it was in West Africa? Nobody. We had a couple of diehards here. Kind of knew that. Okay. What's the weather like there?
It's hot, but right now I think it's raining. I guess I didn't ask my mom. I don't really check it, to be honest with you. It's been a long time. Last year was the first time I went in 6 years, so it's been a long time since I went home.
You've been home.
And when I went home, I only stayed for 6 days because I had to come back. We had to get back to work. So.
How long is that plane flight?
Wow. On the way back, it was 31 hours. It was a long time. I almost cried on the plane. My feet were hurting. My head was hurting. I was tired.
You only been back once in 6 years. I realize it's a long distance. Have you wanted to go back more, or is it the distance too far? How do you handle that? And maybe it's just too expensive to go home.
It is expensive, but that wasn't one of the reasons. I feel like since I came, I was injured a lot, and I just had to stay here and take care of business. You know, I talk to my mom every day. That helps me a lot as well. Like, it's an everyday thing since I got here, and, you know, just being away from family, just talking to them over the phone. I'm the type of person I left when I was young, so I'm very independent, and I can take it, you know.
When did you leave?
When I was like 15, turning 16. And yeah, so it's been challenging, but talking to my mom every day and just keep the main thing. And I came here for a purpose, and I have a job to do, and just getting that done first.
What was the purpose?
Going pro. You know, I feel like I have a higher opportunity, like going to the WNBA. This is where it's at. So just, you know, getting that opportunity here helped me a lot. And
you feel like you're on the right trajectory?
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Hey, we're enjoying the season so far. We're looking for even more from you.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, what did you have for dinner?
I had the baked potatoes with some brisket in it. It was good.
Yeah? Is that your favorite here?
No, but it was good.
You liked it?
It was good, yeah.
It was good. All right, so she's not getting it again, so that's good to hear. All right. Aicha Coulibaly, everyone. Congratulations. We'll talk to you soon. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. We're at Rudy's Barbecue from Learfield. A&M men's basketball is back at Reed Arena tonight, 8 o'clock. They'll take on the Missouri Tigers. First 5,000 fans are getting a 2024 Rock Reed T-shirts. Got a chance to make it on over there to Reed Arena. Get tickets at the door or on the 12th Man mobile app, A&M men and Missouri tonight at 8 o'clock. We're back at Rudy's Barbecue, our remaining moments with Joni Taylor. This is the Joni Taylor Radio Show. True back-to-back road games. Now, we've had games back-to-back on the road, but this is... There's not going to be a home game in between. So at Missouri on Thursday, tell us about this week, and weather could play a factor in some of this, but the turnaround is going to be something.
It really is, you know. So we'll leave tomorrow. We'll land in Missouri, hopefully with no weather issues. Tomorrow night, we'll have dinner. We'll get up. We'll play the game on Thursday. It's 8 o'clock Central, right, for us?
Of course,
so,
every time we go there.
We're going to get back at 1 in the morning, probably. They're going to go to, our ladies are going to go to class on Friday. We'll practice Friday afternoon, and we're going to turn around and leave again on Saturday. And so somewhere in there, we got to wash clothes, we got to repack, we got to figure all that out, and then we're going to leave Saturday and go to Gainesville and play a game there. And that's a 12 o'clock tip.
1 o'clock local time.
Right,
so.
And so our shoot-around that they gave us was 6 a.m., like 6:30. So we're not taking the shoot-around there, so we have to practice once we get to Gainesville. Like, there's all these other nuances that, you know, just kind of go on.
Nice.
The weather will be nice.
Practice in the parking lot.
Make it maybe, hopefully, I like to run outside there.
Yeah.
You know,
it is always nice weather.
Really nice little, so I'm crossing my fingers that the weather's nice enough where I can get a little jog in there. But it is grueling when you go back to back, and this will be the first time this team has done that this year. Everybody does that at some point, but it is quite, it's a lot.
Yeah, and then you have a bye on the flip side. Yeah. We'll be back here next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, but there's a midweek bye before we finally get home to play Mississippi State.
Yeah, and that's our alumni weekend. I'm super excited about that. We've got, I think, like last time I talked to Christina, we had almost 56 RSVPs for former students, former players who are coming back for that game. So really excited to honor them and to spend, I know most of them, and there are some former players that I still haven't met, so I'm excited to spend some time with them and get to know them. Yeah,
we saw Danielle Gant was at this game, had her newborn, I believe. Lennox was 3 months old, I believe, and he had the most amazing little Nike shoes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Those were, I didn't know they made them that small. It's like the logo barely fit on those things, but that just shows you, hey, the players are coming back, and that's a great sign, especially, you know, only in your second year.
Well, it speaks to what Coach Blair, you know, has done and what he built and the connections that he still has, and Christina's really worked her tail off to make sure that stayed in place. And you know, I think it's so important. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the players that came before us and what obviously they did to put Texas A&M women's basketball in the position we're in now. So we're excited to spend some time with them and honor them. And, you know, as much as possible, we want our current players to be around them as well so they can see, you know, what it's supposed to look like and hear their stories and know who the faces are that they see when they're walking through our offices and in our locker room. And, in the practice facility.
All right. Well, hope everything is on time tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Our thanks to Vanessa and AC, and thank you guys for all joining us, and to Kevin Minchow and to Tony O'Neill back in Jefferson City. For Joni Taylor, I'm Steve Miller. It's been the Joni Taylor Radio Show from Learfield.